There are few organizations in the world whose very name sends chills through people's veins, who manipulate history from behind the scenes, and who are feared for their power. Some are known for their technological prowess, others for military strength. But there is one organization whose name alone evokes both terror and awe. Friends call it the guardian of life, enemies call it the shadow of death. Its secrecy is almost sacred, and its influence is exercised with such discretion that even its large-scale actions are often invisible to the public. This organization operates uniquely among all intelligence agencies in the world. Its operations, though cinematic in scale, are far more subtle and sophisticated than anything portrayed in movies. This is Israel's Foreign Intelligence and Special Operations Agency, widely known around the world as Mossad. From the time of the Second World War, spanning from Germany to Argentina, from Syria's high government offices to Uganda's Entebbe airport, from the lights of Ethiopia to Iran's nuclear facilities, there is hardly a place where its operations have not reached. Today, we will examine the full history of this mysterious organization, its failures, its audacious operations, and the global impact of its missions from beginning to end. This is the story of Mossad. To support our channel, please like and subscribe to this one-sitting video. The history of Mossad begins even before Israel was founded. In the 1930s, Europe was increasingly unsafe for Jews. In Palestine, the Jewish community, under British mandate, had organized a militia for self-defense called the Haganah. However, its resources were limited. They asked themselves, what is the enemy planning? What are the British capable of? What are the Arab neighbors doing? To answer these questions, the Haganah established a special intelligence division called Shai. Shai's purpose was primarily information gathering. At the time, they lacked modern technology. Their tools were limited to sharp intellect, fluency in Arabic, and cultural knowledge. Their agents blended into Arab markets as merchants, collecting information from the ground. During the Second World War, Jewish leaders faced a major test. Nazis in Germany were systematically exterminating Jews. The role of Shai was not only to gather intelligence, but also to rescue Jews from Europe, sometimes clandestinely transporting them to Palestine. These operations were known as Aliyah Bet. This period taught the Jewish intelligence operatives essential skills: document forgery, safe passage, discreet acquisition of ships and border crossings. These were foundational lessons that would later underpin Mossad's principles, all actions carried out under the guise of survival and security. In 1948, immediately after Israel's declaration of independence and the outbreak of war with neighboring Arab states, the new Prime Minister, David Ben-Gurion, realized that the prior methods of Shai were insufficient. A formal intelligence agency was needed. In Kislev 1949 Hebrew calendar, he ordered the establishment of an external intelligence and security service named HaMossad LeModi'in uLetafkidim Meyuchadim, abbreviated as Mossad. Its first director was Ruvain Shiloah, a scholar of insight and strategic vision, though the organization itself was still nascent. Employees were poorly paid, offices were modest, and the coordination with military intelligence was still developing. By 1952, a new leader emerged, Isser Harel. Harel was short in stature, with a discreet appearance, yet he had a fiery determination. Under Harel, Mossad became a disciplined, relentless organization. Its motto was that serving Mossad was not only work, but a life sacrifice. Employees were not allowed excessive freedoms. Recreation, casual expenses, or indulgence were strictly controlled. During Harel's tenure, Mossad focused on three main areas: intelligence collection, countering Nazi remnants, and monitoring military activity in Arab countries. They also sought to establish relations with global intelligence agencies, such as the CIA. One of Harel's major operations, which elevated Mossad's reputation globally, lasted from 1959 to 1960. This operation was aimed at Adolf Eichmann, the architect of the Holocaust. Eichmann had survived the war and fled to Argentina under a false identity, working as a factory laborer in Buenos Aires. Mossad tracked Eichmann through a young Jewish woman in Argentina who had fallen in love with a young man, Nicholas, the son of one of Eichmann's acquaintances. When she mentioned Eichmann's identity to him, the information reached Mossad. Harel decided that capturing Eichmann would serve not only Israel, but also global justice. Mossad agents led by Raphael Rafi Eitan and Peter Malkin infiltrated Buenos Aires in May 1960. Eichmann's residence had minimal lighting and no water supply, and the agents carefully observed his routine. On May 11, 1960, a rainy, dark evening, the operation was executed. Eichmann was captured quietly as he returned home, immobilized by the agents, and transported without resistance. Then he was secretly held in a safe house for several days before being flown to Israel. Upon arrival, Ben-Gurion announced to the parliament, "I have news to tell you. Adolf Eichmann is in our hands." This operation stunned the world. Mossad, an almost invisible organization, had successfully captured one of the most wanted men in history. Mossad's work, however, was far from perfect. While Eichmann was captured, many other operations met with failures, losses of innocent life, or political complications. After Eichmann, Mossad continued to pursue high-profile targets, such as in Cyprus and Syria, further cementing its global reputation. This also set the precedent for Eli Cohen, one of the greatest Mossad operatives, whose missions would later unfold dramatically. The Eichmann operation and subsequent missions demonstrated Mossad's hallmark of combination of meticulous planning, daring execution, and strategic foresight. While its operations often remained secret, their impact reverberated worldwide, shaping modern intelligence practices and Israel's security policy.